Hey everyone, today I'm going to be replacing the starter on this 2014 Subaru Impreza. So if we come down here, go back behind all these hoses, down there is the starter. Now we're going to start off by removing the intake just to give us a bit more room. Now you might be able to get it without taking the intake off, but it's easy and it'll just give us a lot more room. 2 screw clamps, and then down on this side we have a little hose. Pull this one off, and then pull that off, and then we can pull this little hose here off, and then take it out of the way.
We also want to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. This is very important.
Now that I've loosened this, I can pull it off. Just remove the negative terminal of the battery. Now be careful that it doesn't rest against it. This one has a little plastic piece to keep it from rubbing against there, so it's not going to touch. So as you can see, we now have better access. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to pull this little rubber piece off. And just out of the way here, just like that. Slide it up a little bit, and there's a nut on the end here. This one is 12 millimeters, and then we'll want to remove that. Loosen the 12 millimeter nut that's on the back here. So on the back of here, we'll have a nut and a lock washer. Then we can pull this cable off and put it out of the way. Now there's one more cable right here. I'm going to use this starter here to show you how it works. There's just this cable here. Press down on this tab here, pull it off, and you're good to go. It looks just like that. Now that that's off, we can remove this bolt here, and then there's one down underneath that I'm going to show you. It's a 14 millimeter. Okay, so there, as you can see, there's a grounding wire connected to there. So we can put this to the side, but we don't want to forget to put it back on when we're done. And here on our new starter, you can see it's directly opposite of the one we just took out. So if you feel around the bottom, right down here, there's a nut. What I just did there was I used a bar, put the end on the wrench, and then I could tap on it up here where I had more room. That nut was a little bit hard to get off. And I dropped the nut. I'll have to crawl under there and pick it up. Alright, so we have the starter out. So if you can see down there, there's a stud, and you just got to line up the bottom of the starter with that stud, the bottom hole, and then push it on. Just like that. Now I'll put this nut back on the bottom. Then we'll put our bolt back in. Make sure to grab your ground cable and thread it through the hole. Now let's attach this cable in the back. All you have to do is slide it on the pin. Then we're going to slide this on. Then we'll put the lock washer on. And then the 12mm nut. Then we'll put the rubber cap back on, just like that. Now we'll put the intake back on. Make sure to attach this hose down here. The clamp back on. Tighten the two clamps. And finally, we'll reconnect our battery. Let's see if it starts. The first start after the battery being disconnected will be a little bit longer depending on the conditions. That's totally normal. Next time it should start right up.